Happy Friday, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here, and this is my daily video. Today it is Sewcialites Day, and I just love this block. I think it is, I love them all, don't I? Do I say that a lot? That and it's cute. So the block is called Hope, and I ran out of my smaller. I need the other size. This isn't really big. This is the 18-inch board. I think it's the 14-inch board I usually use. Okay, I digress. So this is the Hope block. It's super cool. Done with my Morrison Park. I like this little design that ends up in the middle. If you were going to use more than 2 fabrics, you could use a 3rd fabric in here, which would give it another little definition. I think that would be really a neat effect. You could even do 2 of the blocks different and then have the outer blocks the same, so you could really add some more fabrics in here. Okay, so this is Hope. Now I think it's always interesting when you hear a word or think about something and then all of a sudden you see like a really interesting article or story that is on that topic. It's like the universe sort of shifts and says, here, you're thinking about this, why don't you look at that too? You will get a lot out of it. So I recently, and I think one of our friends mentioned this article or this writer. I'm not sure how I found him, but he is called Sean. Sean is his first name, S-E-A-N, Sean of the South, like son of the South, Sean of the South. And his articles, he's a writer, he writes every day, like everyday articles. It's crazy. I really like his articles, and they're stories. He's a storyteller, and they're easy to read. They're not very long, but he did one on hope. And so I will link you down below in the description box, and while you're there, would you click the subscribe so that we can be in contact all the time, and click the bell so that you get the notifications when the new videos come up. So check out Sean of the South and his Hope block today. All right, I have got some fun fabric I have to show you. Shannon Fabric makes the soft, cuddly, backings that we love. I mean, you can make pillows, you can make quilt tops, whatever. I made one a little while back. Let me show it to you again. And then I'm going to show you some new ones that came in, because I think they're great. So this is a top. Let me be sure I get it right side up. Yes. So this is a sew along we did just a little while ago, last year. And I believe it was last year. Yeah. And I used the cuddle on the back, or minky, or whatever you want to call it. And this one has the little dimples. Do you see that one? Like the little bumps. It's called the dimple version, and it's a solid. One thing is, I had Cindy and Dennis at the spa do a pretty heavy, pretty dense quilting on it. See there? And it drapes. It drapes so amazing. Look at that. It is not stiff. It is just the cuddly best thing ever. So this fabric is really wonderful to work with. Well, I think it's wonderful to send it to long armor to work with. You can quilt it on your machine, definitely, but it's thicker and it's fuzzy, so it will generate some fuzz for you. You can clean your machine out maybe twice while you're quilting that at home. But they have a few other new ones that I wanted to show you, and the first is this Sherpa. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I got a 2-yard piece of it, and here is the texture. So this is brand new, so it's not in the store yet. I wanted to show it to you so you get to see it first. And when it comes out, I'll let you know. But this Sherpa is so cool. And what I am going to do is take my Morrison Park. I'm going to take this print, the main print, and I am going to just use it as like a whole cloth, just a throw with the white and this fabric on the other side, and then probably bind it in the stripe like I did the one I just showed you. Oh, the one I just showed you, that came from our sew along from the Charming Baby book. So I will link you below to that sew along, which you can go and get all of the different, the layout for the sampler, because we did different blocks from this book to create the sampler. All right, so let's see, what other colors do I have? Let me bring the rolling assistant over here. I went and got the red. Whew. Now mine came in the plastic bags, so I'm gonna put them back in there. But this red piece is so yummy, and it's called Dazzle, I think. See, it's got like the little bits of glitter on it, which don't come off. They're attached on there well. So this piece I think would be great for a Christmas one. That's what I wanted, something to put on the back of a Christmas quilt that could be cuddled on the sofa when you're watching TV or reading a book. Won't that be great? Yes, yes, so that is my idea for that guy. Woo! And then I also got, let me just put you down here so I can just see it. So I've got the purple, which has also got the little bit of glitter. There you can see the red, the purple, and then I also got some aqua. Look at this. So these are just fabulous for backings. And if you like to do pillows, these would be super for pillows, or just a throw like I'm going to do with the white one, where I just use one piece of fabric on the other side, and that makes actually a great gift. So you don't have to go and you might just have one great piece of fabric and a great backing, and you can give somebody a gift. It's not a lot of work either. Gotta think of those things. Okay, let's talk about crumb blocks again. We're on a roll here with the crumb blocks. I did 2 more. Remember I had that group yesterday that I showed you of what was left over? Here was, like a lot of beige, some brown, not a lot of variety of color. And I said, I think I'm just going to sew them up anyways. And that's what I did too. I probably have enough for at least 2 or 3 more like this. And when I was showing those yesterday, all of you wonderful people out in my community started sharing your crumb quilts that were done without just squares. So let's take a look at those, because they are fantastic. You did fantastic. So first, let me just move to the side so I can put the pictures up here. Okay, so I have Carol's, and Carol made a table runner, and she alternated her crumb block with a solid or a tonal, and that table runner looks really nice, so that if you want to keep it very color coordinated, you don't have to have a lot of them if you do like a table runner. Then Eileen scattered a few in with her navy blocks. They're solids. They almost look like a jeans fabric, but I don't think they are. But look at that effect of just having a few scattered in there. It looks very modern. Now Jamie showed 2 pictures over in my community, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. She did a runner, which I really love. Whoops, my bolt just fell on the floor. She did the runner, which looks really great. And then she also did one alternating with solids. And that is, so you can see, like, even though I have showed you several alternating with solids, they all look different because it's the colors that you're using. They're not always just a chaos of color. Crumb blocks are not one specific thing. You can make them color coordinated or not color coordinated. So then Jenny did the star from this book. So she used the crumbs to like fabric and cut it up and made the star. Now I am going to have to get out my own pictures of books that I've used a lot of things with. When I started doing this, I did not call them crumb quilts at all. That word didn't exist. It probably only came in around 2005. That's the earliest I can find anybody writing about it on the internet. Before that, they were just called scrap quilts or string quilts. I did a whole book on it, so which has been out of print for a long time. But I will go and get a bunch of that one day and show you. Okay, so Laura did a fabulous one, alternating with like sort of free-form alphabet. That is cool. Now Rhonda has one where she did more traditional string blocks alternating with a patchwork block. And so that gives that quilt a lot more structure, and then she kept them all in very tonals so that they did not compete with the pieced blocks. And then Suzanne here, who often is chatting on our group in the mornings, in the evening when we do the live, the first live, we have the live chat. Suzanne cut hers up and did a regular patchwork. She just used it as fabric and cut it into the shapes and sewed it back together. All super exciting examples that I'm just so thankful that you shared, and all of you can go and see these at any time in my community over at Quilt Along with Pat Sloan and Facebook. The link is down below. You really should come on over. We have so much fun. It's like a quilt show every single day, all day long. It's fabulous. Okay, what do we got? Sometimes I feel like I talk too fast. So my friend Kate at the Confidence Stitch, she put together for Earth Day some great remnant bundles. And she did them for cotton and all the other, because she also does a lot of clothing fabrics, so she has wool remnant bundles. And then she also did a fabulous article that tells you how to use these sort of smaller pieces, what kind of projects and places they could be. I really liked some of her ideas for the clothing ones. They were super neat little accents and things like that. So the bundles are on sale. There's sale price for these mystery bundles, and they are selling through April 26th. So, or I guess until maybe she runs out of fabric in her store. It depends on how many you buy. So I hope you go on over there to Kate. Remember, she's the one who also now you can order fat quarters. So if you need some fat quarters or something, you can pick those up too. Okay. Thank you everybody for donating to the Virginia Quilt Museum during the community give. That was fantastic. If you missed out on that day, you can still do it. They're still taking the donations. So the link is below. Now I had one question that I thought I would answer, and it's an interesting question. Pam asked, how do you decide the binding color on your quilt? Which, you know, that's a good question, because I mean, when I get to the binding, I sometimes already know. Like if my quilt is red, has a lot of red, I'm going to put red binding. Sometimes I pick a color that's maybe not used as much in the quilt. Like if there's only a little bit of teal, I might decide, well, I just want that little extra accent of teal to pull it back to the outside again. So I'll put the teal. I usually go for a medium to darker shade. Like I would rarely put a white binding on something. And I rarely also personally do the binding the same color as the border. A lot of people do that, to put a nice border on, and then they'll use the same fabric to do the binding, and it looks beautiful. Just for me, I prefer an extra pop of color, because more is more. I like to have that extra little zip. When I did this cuddle quilt here, this sampler, I put the stripe on there. So because I think stripes look really good for bindings, but this stripe is not, let me pick this up. This stripe is not in the front of the quilt at all, which doesn't bother me. It's just similar colors. There are some other stripes. I think this was done with, you know, with the charm pack, and so I didn't buy any extra fabric to do the binding. I just used the Morrison Park that I had. Okay, so I hope that helps. You can always ask in the group, because if you are like trying to pick between two different binding colors, just show a picture and everybody will give you their opinion. People love to tell you which, A or B, which binding should I pick, A, B, or C. So give that a try. And I want to remind you again, I'm wearing my nautical scarf, because I want everybody to join me in the Sail Away cross stitch for May, which starts the last day of April, because I don't want to stitch alone. So go on over there and get your pattern and get all your stuff. Order that zippy bag, because it is so darn cute with the anchor on it. Okay. Happy Friday. I am excited to see what your Sewcialites block will look like. So here is mine. Hope, and check out that article I link you to down there. Thank you very much. I'll see you online. I love you. Mwah.